So I've been wanting to talk about Kevin Smith for a minute, primarily because he's a Jersey legend. The guy went out to Hollywood, made a bunch of movies, tons of money, stayed out there, but ultimately in a lot of his earlier films, he repped Jersey ridiculously hard through the Clerks, Mallrats, Chasing Amy. I mean, the dude's a legend. I can't speak to his later work like Red State and stuff like that. Nah, I'm good. But his like early Kevin Smith is some of the funniest, really best work that I think that the man's done, including his magnum opus Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, which have been prophetic damn near in the way that Hollywood has gone about doing superhero movies, and really how the superhero box office has taken over the country and the world in a lot of respects. So it's amazing to just sit back and think about the work that he put in, the content that he's made. Chasing Amy to this day is one of my favorite movies, simply because of the premise. I think it's really interesting, as well as the lead actress's voice just to this moment gets to me. Like, oh my goodness, when she sang that song, I was like, yeah, I get you, Ben Affleck, I get you. But what I want to do right now is focus in on Clerks II, which is the sequel to, I think, his first indie hit, which focused on these two characters, Dante and Randall, who are two guys from Jersey just going about life and how they interact with the situations they find themselves in and the world around them. So let me set the scene for you, because I believe this scene in particular says a lot about race, and it's very telling in a lot of aspects as to how we here, 14, 15 years later, approach race. So, check this out.
But uniform I've got to wear, but I'll be damned if I'm going to let some self-righteous lucky turd come in here and treat me and Dante like we're a couple of fucking porch monkeys. Randall!
Okay, so do you see who got upset first? Who said something? It was the soy-filled white guy. Sorry, Dante, but, let's be real. If you're unfamiliar with the series, Dante is he's the yin to Randall's yang. That's Randall right there, who said the term porch monkey. And they got Wanda Sykes in Earthquake. My dude. Did he pass? I'm not sure if Earthquake passed, but it's good to see my brother in this film. And I want you guys to pay attention to everyone's reaction and how they react, because I believe it's just very telling. You have Dante, who's just, oh my goodness, how could you say this in front of people? You have Randall, who's completely oblivious, and you have the woman right here, Miss Wanda, played by Miss Wanda Sykes, who is very vocal and upset, and you got Earthquake just being Earthquake and chilling. Check this out.
I'm sorry.
He didn't really just say what I think he said.
What? Porch monkeys? Randall!
What the fuck is wrong with you?
See, and mommy's gonna sit there and catch on to the emotional vibes too, cause they're at work. You definitely do not want to be doing this type of thing at work. It's one of those things that could definitely be misconstrued, but he's saying it completely innocently, because even myself, I didn't really deem it that much of a racial term. Of all the terms that are in the lexicon that are strictly towards descendants, black people, porch monkey is a little innocuous, don't you think? But it can be taken any kind of way, and thusly when the sister sees the opportunity to everybody flexing on it, instead of just kind of playing it off oh da, if you kept talking, it wouldn't have been that big of a deal. But here we go.
I want my money back right now.
Of course. You know what? Here, take this on us.
Oh, no. I'm not eating something that was cooked by some cracker-ass hate monger.
I will. Maybe you can't take racism.
He's right. You can't. Unless I'm pretty sure Randall didn't spit in the food in this instance. So yeah, you can't taste the racism. That's him being very pragmatic, because he's hungry. They just for a little bit of a setup, they've been waiting for a while because someone had come in and really just made him feel bad about working fast food. they go away and they come back during lunch rush, and everybody's sitting there waiting on their food. And so he's just hungry. Like, and this really is the, I think the pragmatism of the modern black male. Like, look, you can't taste the racism. I'm hungry. I just want to eat right now. But the woman is, Miss Sykes there is being rather emotional about it, and just like she got the green light from Dante, the Caucasian male, to be all self-righteous and indignified about it, instead of just being like, all right, well, whatever, it's a word's a word. No. She gets to hop on the soapbox.
What racism? Porch monkeys? Calm down, champ. It ain't worth it.
See, and it's like, and that's another thing that really happens in, urban America. I mean, this is a very typical response from a woman of color, a walk, if you will, because it's just like, why he's just saying a word. He clearly does not mean it in a derogatory or a, malicious intent. But because he's merely saying the word, she feels as if she has the, ability to physically attack him. And that's just that Antifa, right? Just because he's saying things you don't like, you can attack him. Nah, not over here, fam. I wonder what those two guys are talking about in the background.
You lucky my husband across this counter knocked your teeth in.
Why? Yeah, baby, why? I mean,
you heard him, right? Like, yeah, baby, why? Like, she's sitting there like offering him up. Like, hold on, I ain't mad about this. Like, he like, yo, I'm not concerned. Like, yo, like, why would I go across this thing and knock his teeth out? He just says so. And he didn't say it in a malicious manner at all. He was just like venting about the dude.
Ain't like he called us porch monkeys.
Right?
Hey, come on, baby, stop hitting on me, see the judge.
See? The threat of physical violence, it's always there. It really is.
Told you about that. You gotta stop doing that.
Here, take this. This is your money. Please, take the food on us. We're sorry.
Oh, I'm gonna write the paper about this, and all y'all getting fired up in here.
I don't even know why you tripping. She ain't gonna write nothing. She ain't white. White people write letters. She ain't gonna write no damn letter.
I'm gonna take the food. Thank you, baby.
See? And she just sits there and just throws the food down because, like, yo, my man Quake was hungry. All over what's ultimately, he didn't mean anything by it. Like, that's the thing. This is like the eggshells that certain elements of society look to enact, because you're really, in a lot of ways, you're hampering that person's freedom of speech, which is bullshit. I'm sorry. Like, as much as I'd love to be like, oh my goodness, my ancestors died, so I want to be mad when somebody says the N-word. Look, it doesn't work. It doesn't help. I'll tell you guys a really quick story. Me and my ex-girlfriend break up, right? And there was this computer that the mother gave me when I started. Her mom gave me when I started going to college. So I took the computer with me naturally because it's my computer. The mom runs across me in a particular situation where she could get my book bag and my cell phone. And so I go and, stop her from leaving, and she punches me in the mouth, and she calls me the N-word. She goes, nigger! Bang, bang, punches me in the mouth. Let me tell you guys something. If I had responded in an emotional manner, I'd be sitting in a California jail right now. Because if I punched her back, or if I just completely wilded out, that would have been my ass. I could sit there and say, oh my goodness, well, she called me the N-word all I want. But when the cops pull up and, I'm standing there above a bloody body, then, it's going to be for nothing. And that's really where our government has just given the green lit to a lot of our women, particularly in urban communities, to be as wild and as violent as they want, because they need that emotional charge just completely percolating throughout these areas, through the men and the women. But yeah, this is all over nothing. Ultimately, he just said a term that he didn't even view as the term that, the way that they took it. But it's most things, man. One of the things my dad used to always tell me is that life is 20% what happens to you, 80% of how you react to it. Feel you, bruh.
Thanks. Come again.
Don't leave me, baby.
Are you out of your fucking mind?
What? What's the since when is it a crime to say porch monkey?
Oh, I don't know, since forever?
Rosario Dawson, you will forever be fine. I mean, even in the glasses and the shortcut, like, she's just... even the imperfections are just perfect. Golly, Rosario Dawson. Definitely a 35%er. Supposedly, she's dating Cory Booker, but does anybody really buy that? Yeah, that's something for the comments. Do you really think Rosario Dawson's banging Cory Booker?
Why?
Because porch monkey's a racial slur against black people.
No, it's not. Nigger is.
Randall!
Did Randall just call Mr. Dante a nigger?
Elias.
I didn't just call Dante a nigger. I just said that nigger is a racial slur.
So is porch monkey.
Oh, it is not. Coon, spook, spade, mooly, jigaboo, knick-knock. Those are racial slurs. Porch monkey is not.
I'm going to pretend like this conversation.
He's not wrong. Like, that's the thing. And if you just watch that and you got in your feelings, man, like, yo, grow up. If you watch that and you got in your feelings, grow up. Because honestly, as far as the collective of descendants go, the people who should probably feel the worst, my people, about that, we got way bigger fish to fry than somebody else, than somebody exercising their free speech. And even in, pardon my French, even in that, he wasn't saying it maliciously. He was just running off the terms. And yet, you have people who will still be all upset and angry about it. Like, oh my goodness. How dare he say such things? Come on, man. Miss me with all that. But, hold on.
Happen. Elias, go pick up that and you are this close to getting shit canned.
I just wanted to finish it right there because, yeah, you're fired. Like, if people really did take it that way, like, yeah, you got to put up your mop for the day. At least for the day, you're on suspension at least. Dealing with a lot of these corporate areas. If this was more based in reality, but I definitely felt like this scene was worth a breakdown. And how, the ball gets rolling, and ultimately it's based around someone who didn't even mean to upset anyone. He was just sitting there, he was venting himself, and didn't see the term as a racial one. And honestly, before this movie, I didn't even see it as a racial term. Like I said earlier, it's rather innocuous, but I'd really like to know what you think. All the internet stuff. If you liked it, toss me a like, alright? Sub. If you enjoy my fantastic voice, share, because sharing is caring, and speak. Let me know. 1, do you think that Rosario Dawson and Cory Booker is a real relationship? And 2, can you put this into context? Is it just the fact that, oh my goodness, he said those words, now I'm so angry, or anything else like that? Like, does context not matter to you at all? And 3, what do you think of Kevin Smith? I really do. Up until, like I said, his magnum opus was Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. This came out after Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, but I think this is probably like the last movie of his that I really, really just couldn't stop laughing all the way through. I'd love your opinions, and until the next video.